Hello, ESL teachers. This is another I Can Relate to You video coming at you. Let me start off by saying I had 9 classes this morning, and it was a great morning. It's been a whole great week, actually. I have a lot of regulars that keep coming back who I love dearly. A couple regulars who come back I'd be happy if they moved on to another teacher, but they see something in me, so I'm going to be the best teacher I can be for them when they're in my class. But it just works out really nice. I'm blessed to be at VIPKID, where I can handpick, kind of cherry pick my kids. In that, I don't open up any classes at VIPKID, with the exception of 5:30 in the morning and the 9:30 in the morning. Now, I'm Eastern Standard Time. So 5:30 in the morning, the very first opening, and then 9:30 in the morning, because it's not offered at gogokid. I like 5:30 in the morning because in the event that I miss my alarms, they give you an alarm reminder 15 minutes before your class. So it's sort of my alarm backup. So I like to start off my day with VIPKID, and then I know I have that assurance that I'm not going to miss my first class, and then I end it. But I would say every day I have at least one, and sometimes the majority, VIPKID, and that is simply because I accept priority booking requests. So 2 weeks ahead of time, before the booking blitz at VIPKID, parents who had you as a teacher have the ability to request a week ahead of time prior to the booking blitz to get that same time slot with you. You can accept it or deny it. I have denied some simply because I didn't think it was a good match with me. So I would rather have a different child in that time slot, and I would let them move on to another teacher who they would be better matched with. And I accept all of the ones that are near and dear to my heart and who I truly enjoy teaching. So I probably have about 20 slots a week of regulars who come back to me with priority booking requests. And then the rest I use gogokid. gogokid pays me more money, so I really should be completely over at gogokid, but I can't let go of my VIPKID students. And it makes sense to have both, because that 9:30 in the morning slot, if you want to work a little longer and not have to get up another half hour earlier, VIPKID has an extra half hour in the mornings compared to gogokid. And in the evenings, they start an extra half hour early. So with as early as I get up in the morning, I don't want to be staying up too late, so I only open up the 8:30 slot with VIPKID, which is only offered at VIPKID, and then I do the 9 p.m. slot with gogokid and just see what happens. And then I don't do any more than that. By 9:30 at night, I want to start winding down and getting ready for bed so that I can get a good 8 hours of sleep in before I have to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning. All right, so it was a great week. It's more information than I meant to give to you today, but again, I'm not going to edit this. I did have my first experience. I've been doing this for 2 years now, so 2 years with VIPKID and 1 year going on this summer, 1 year with gogokid. And I hear a lot of people complain about behavior issues in the classroom and not being able to have them attend and all that. And I'll be honest with you. Are there behavior issues? Yes. And some of these kids are off task in that, but rarely is it anything significant. I've read about how they, laid on the floor. I mean, I did have a girl lay on the floor and really not speak the entire time. I will give you that. But this was a regular of mine who kept coming back to me. So I knew her, and I knew it was an off day for her, and there was no parent around, and that never happened again after I filled out the feedback and explained what happened, as well as submitted a ticket to VIPKID. So she now sits in a chair at her computer and is on task the entire time. Somebody spoke to her. So I don't want to say I never do, but, and I had a kid kind of doing back bends the other day responding, but he was still, by and large, mostly on track, but then we'd get off and would run somewhere and then run back and then answer some questions, repeat some things, you know, just kind of in his own world. I truly had the kid today for the first time in over thousands of classes that I've taught who was wild. Now, I had written in my notes, you know, I keep track of all the kids that I see, but we don't have much other than their first names. So I'll write down their name. I have like all these sheets of paper. I keep meaning to put it in an Excel sheet, and I'm not good about doing that. So I have all of their names here, and here's more, and information on them, their the class. So I have a general idea of where they are. If I get the same name, I can kind of match up. Like, oh, this kid was level 2, this one's level 4. It's not the same student. So that kind of helps me too. And by and large, I would say 95% of the time, if not more, I can tell which kid it is based on that information. There's not too many duplicates that match. But today, I had a kid come. What was his name? His name was Mike. And Mike, pretty generic name. I thought, geez, but the name doesn't sound that familiar to me. And so I was going through all my sheets and I couldn't find a Mike. And then I found a Mike. And I had written down that he was a trial and he was outstanding. So I'm going into this so excited. I'm like, oh, what a wonderful way to end my day. I didn't have anyone book my 9:30 slot this morning, so my very last one was going to be a gogokid. I'm going to end with this fabulous new kid who's going to become a regular of mine because I was his trial teacher and he chose me again. And he was on lesson 3, so I thought clearly this is the same kid. You can see where this is going. Kid. All right, so I'm waiting for the class to begin to hit the start button. I can see him, I can hear him, everything is fine. And he seemed really happy and lively, and I was getting excited. Still thinking this is the same kid. And then when I hit the start button, he wasn't there anymore. Now, I had clicked on another tab on my computer. I was doing something else for a minute. I came back, and all of a sudden there was no sound, but the video was there. And there was nobody in the room in the chair where he was before. So I thought, okay, they're coming back. And all of a sudden, I can see Dad carrying him into the room and like plopping him into the chair as he's kind of like falling over and laughing and all that. So I thought, that's not very promising, but we'll just go with it. I still couldn't hear him. So it was a long period of time where I could not hear the student. And I kept typing in the chat box, can you please turn on your microphone? I cannot hear you. They had the microphone turned off. Dad wasn't getting it. I tried a couple different ways to explain to him and show him with like the whiteboard. You know, I contacted IT, and at about the 5-minute mark, Dad figured it out, and IT also said, is everything okay? So maybe they called him. I wouldn't know because I couldn't hear. So we're going ahead and going. In the meantime, during this 5-minute period of time, the kid is everywhere. He is everywhere. The dad keeps leaving and getting up. I could see the dad lock the door, so now he's locked in the room. I'm thinking, this is not the same kid. This is not the same kid. I don't remember what the child looked like, the trial. You know, it was a while ago, and there's so many kids. So he looked like maybe he was familiar, but I couldn't recall. A trial, you're so focused on gathering the information and kind of assessing them during the trial period that I don't remember the faces of trials. And it's been a while since I've done a trial at gogokid because I have a lot of core classes there. So I'm chiming in and thinking, okay, this is not the kid. Just move on. It's my last one for the day. He was all over the place and laughing. And I mean, the upside is the kid wasn't upset. I mean, it would be worse if the kid had a major behavior problem and he was really angry or sad or crying or something throughout it, and then it's kind of exhausting. This kid was laughing the whole way. He did not want to do the class. And surprisingly, the dad ended up leaving him in the room. Now, he pulled it together after Dad left the room. He ran out twice. Dad brought him back in, got him in the chair, Dad left. And I could get him. Now, he was a kindergarten level 2 kid. So this is higher level. This isn't like we haven't been exposed to this before. He was only 4. So every now and then he would repeat um, a full sentence clearly. So I'm like, oh, now I get it why he was level 2, because um, his articulation skills and his ability to comprehend the language and repeat it correctly was all there. So I'm like, great. I can count on one hand how many of the sentences came out of him for the rest of the 20 minutes that I was there. I was doing the song and dance. I had the puppets. I had everything. I just finally just started talking to myself and pretending like there was a child talking back to me. And what I decided to do is at the 13-minute mark, when he only had 1 star, I thought at this point I need to start reinforcing the fact that he's just sitting in his chair. And he did get up and out of it a couple times. So every time he would sit for a couple minutes, whether if he said any word to me, repeated a word or a phrase, he got a star. And after every couple of minutes, I gave him a star so that he could get his full 5 stars at the end. I had read in the information on Facebook from gogokid that they want all their kids to receive 5 stars. So I thought, well, and so I kept telling him, I don't know if he understood, but at least I had it recorded on video that you're getting a star for staying in your seat. Good job. Thank you for attending. I don't know how much he was attending because he was really throwing up a bunch of emojis in the chat box. That's what he was doing. He really wasn't looking at the screen. He did. It was a dog running and a cat walking, and he did at one point when he got up and out of his chair and came back, brought back a tiny little toy dog. Oh, I'm losing my alphabet. I need to fix that. I'm going to continue on. He did come back with the dog. So the comprehension was there. He made the connection with the dog on the screen. He mentioned the word dog. He wasn't repeating the sentence after me, but, little bits were getting in there to him. So I just want to put this out there because I could never relate to the comments where people were like, he was off the entire time. I kept thinking, how can they be off the entire time? I mean, I get that they're off a good portion of the time, but at least you can pull something out of them. Honestly, 25 minutes. Well, really 20 minutes because for 5 minutes I couldn't hear him. But for 20 minutes, maybe 5 utterances out of him. And he was very capable. So it was 100% behavior on his part. So we'll see if he comes back. I'll give you an update if he does and how things go. He has the potential for doing fantastic from the little bit of language that I did hear. But we need to keep the behavior on task. He was able to, at the beginning, circle things on the screen, and then that was it. He wouldn't click, he wouldn't circle, he wouldn't work with the screen in any way, because I thought, well, at least if I get him to click on things, even if he doesn't repeat it, but no, that didn't happen. So I can now relate. That's really what I want to let you know. I can now relate. As well as I have a regular girl who only uses me. That was a little frustrating this morning too, because she just doesn't have a really good internet connection. The dad sits next to her and helps her, but it's really, I don't want to say it's internet connection. She just has a really bad external microphone on her computer, and she doesn't use a laptop. She uses a regular computer. So I don't know what kind of mic situation they have, but it's not ideal. And I've written the dad a couple times and said it really would be great if you could get a microphone. And it just hasn't happened. But he keeps telling her to speak up. She has a very, very soft voice, and it's just not picking up. So I don't know if she has the ED at the end of the word or an S at the end of the word. Really not ED. We haven't used any past tense because she's kindergarten level 2. But there are a lot of plurals, and I don't know if she has the S at the end or not, or if she's saying this for this. I'm just dropping off those fricative sounds, those high frequency ending sounds like S, CH, SH, F is common. And I don't know. The dad is helpful. It's sometimes too helpful. So it was just one of those mornings of, I would just love her to pieces if her audio worked. But because it doesn't, it becomes so frustrating for me in that class. And I'm like, oh, here we go again. Every now and then it works good. So I don't know why sometimes the mic works and sometimes it doesn't. I do say to the dad, oh, the sound is coming in and out, but I think you did it the right way, just so that the dad can hear. I can always hear the dad pretty good though. So It's just that she's so tiny and little, with a quiet little voice and a little high-pitched voice because she's a little girl, so those high-frequency sounds are not translating into the microphone. And therefore, I get bits and parts of each word and have to guess what she's doing. But she is cute, and she is on task and adorable. So I feel guilty saying that when I see her on my schedule, I think, oh, but I do. And that's just honest talk with you. Just think, oh, it's such a struggle, that class. It really is. The struggle is real. All right. I'm going to end on a really positive note. I came across the other day video. I am on. I have the social media chat app called WeChat with VIPKID. gogokid at this time does not permit us to have any contact with the parents outside of the feedback that we give back and forth to each other after classes. VIPKID allows it. So with my regulars at VIPKID, the majority of them, not all of them, the ones who choose to, we are connected on WeChat. And when it was the new year, it's been nice for scheduling purposes sometimes. Every now and then they're like, I really need to change my class, but you never open any classes, so I can't get a slot open to book, to change the regular spot. And then I'll start doing a priority booking request, and I'll be like, okay, at this day and time, I will open up this, so you'll see it right when it becomes available, and we're able to instantly chat with each other, and it pops up instantly, and they're like, saw it, got it, we're all good. And then we change the regular time slot. So it's been good for that, for those purposes. Every now and then they have a question about the class or how they can be helping them and what they should be working on with homework if I don't give them, if they don't feel like they have enough information from the feedback, which often you don't have time to explain a whole lot when it comes to do this for homework. And I often don't even assign homework in the feedback. So if they have a question about it, I've had one girl ask me an English question that would help her on her homework at school once. That was cute. I'm trying to think what it was. Something like trying to describe what a forest was, or the difference between forest and trees, or something like that. So that was cute, and being able to explain it to her. And you can do video on there as well. So I've had a video chat with the one parent once where we talk back and forth to try to figure out scheduling a difficult scheduling situation with her kid, and I've seen him for quite a long time. Now, on Chinese New Year, I sent out just a little icon that said Happy New Year with the little Chinese character holding a sign that had the pig on it, because this is the year of the pig. And got wonderful little emojis and gifts and texts back from the parents and the kids. Some of the WeChat apps are the kids, and some of them are their parents. And I'm going to end it with this, because this parent sent this video to me of her child. And he's just saying Happy New Year to me. And it makes me so happy, because they put the little pig, you know how you can distort your voice a little bit? Now, he has the cutest little voice, let me tell you to begin with. He's about 4 or 5, yeah, he's probably 5 years old. And he's a regular of mine, and just so sweet, and really good at conversing. His math skills are incredibly weak, but that's simply because his verbal skills are so great. And at VIPKID, they have math that matches the language level, which is very difficult. So trying to get him to do some of the math stuff is, he just doesn't even understand the math concept, nor less learn the math vocabulary to go along with it. Like, I mean, even adding. So he's pretty, 4 or 5. He doesn't really know what 2 + 6 means if it were in Chinese. So we struggle with the math section. We do the best we can. And he just excels in language. So on social media, after I got this, I asked her permission to post it on social media. And she said, absolutely, you can, don't worry about it. So it's on my Facebook page, but I'm going to put it here now too, because I want to end on a real positive note and show you why we do what we do, and why we teach. So cute. I tried to upload this onto my thing, and it didn't work on my computer. The sound wasn't working. So I'm just going to hold my camera up to the screen and show you. This is my little boy, and The ears, whoops, can't see it. Oh, my goodness, there we go. The ears and the little pig nose, if you can see it, there we go, are for Chinese New Year. Is that not the cutest? I'm doing it again. Okay, I'm going to make your day too. Here we go. It's the best. It's the best. We have the greatest job in the world. All right, that's all. Just an off-the-cuff video again today to say I can relate to you as a teacher. And I hope that that brought you as much joy as it always brings me. You have a wonderful day and happy teaching. Goodbye.